Alright guys, so I had a couple comments on my last video on the M1 asking about just more information on it. And yeah, I don't know why I didn't say what the manufacturer date was and stuff. Uh, like I know it in my head, but I forget to say it when I make a video. I don't know. I do that all the time. I don't know why. But anyways, I got this girl cleaned up, and I took her out to the range today, and I shot 40 rounds. And believe it or not, 40 rounds is a lot of ammo nowadays. But it did great. I had one issue with it, which we'll get to. And you can see the stock here. So the manufacturer date on the receiver is a Springfield, and it's 1943. And the barrel is dated for 1956. It's a Harrington and Richardson barrel. I also have a Harrington and Richardson bolt in here. Well, I mean, that's what came with it, but so I replaced the sights, and I cleaned the stock up with a little bit of just some simple green. I just wiped it down. I didn't even put any boiled linseed oil on it. I don't really think it needs any. I was going to, but I didn't. So I did find out that this gas cylinder is super tight. It's nice. It's good for shooting. It's a pretty accurate gun. I have some targets here. But this you actually have to tap on and off with a hammer, or I should say a mallet, not a hammer. But we won't be removing this anymore. So I took it off to clean it once, and it'll stay on for good for now. So you'll probably see in the thumbnail, I shot some commercial ammo through this gun. I do run the I do run the Grand Gear ported gas plug. Not that that's really needed, but I do run it just for safety measures. It does help slow the action down. Even if you run just M2 ball, the ported plug does help slow it down. And you can tell a difference by how far it ejects the empty brass. So, but that's for another video on commercial ammo. Get a little bit of a closer view here. There's some pitting, like I mentioned in my other video. I got the sights replaced here. Let's go through these targets here. I didn't measure anything. I actually meant to before I sat down, but so this was the sight in target, and then this was I was just kind of blasting this. So not too bad. These are all at 50 yards. I was gonna zero at 100, but honestly it's raining and I just didn't feel like walking down to 100, so I just did 50. It's easier that way anyways. And then this is a 3-shot group at 50 yards, which I thought is decent. I'm not exactly sure what that is, how far that is, but I'm good with that. The muzzle reading is a +1, throat reading is a +2. 56 dated HRA barrel, and that's the serial number. So let's get to the issue I had with this. I had 2 problems. I had 1 jam, 1 malfunction. I'll put that in now. Fucking bitch. It's fucking clips. And that was caused by those stupid commercial end blocks. I hate those things. Every time I use those commercial end blocks that come with the CMP rifles, and you can order them, you can get them new. Every time I use them, I shouldn't say every time. A lot of times I use them no matter what Garand I have, it causes a 7th round stoppage. And I stopped using them. And I stopped having the 7th round stoppage in all my rifles. And I grabbed the one that came with this rifle, and I was like, well, let's just test it out. And sure enough, I had it fucking jam on me. put the GI clips back in, feeds 100%. So I hate those clips. If you guys are looking for M blocks, just order yourself. Just find USGI M blocks and just keep a hold of them. They're, you know, they don't need to, they don't go bad. Just make sure you keep a hold of them. So the other issue I had with this gun, and this isn't necessarily the gun's fault either. Actually, I don't really need to pull that out of the stock to show this to you. I actually had a double fire with this, a double tap. So I came home and I was trying to find out what was going on with this thing, and because I thought it was the trigger pack. It kind of is, and it kind of isn't. It was actually my fault. I caused it. This trigger here is actually only 5 pounds. It's like 5.5 pounds. I measured it. All my other Garands are a full 7 pounds. So I'm thinking what it did was, just with the recoil and all, when the bolt slammed home, I accidentally, now this, we are clear. I accidentally because I, squeeze trigger, hold it back, and with the recoil. So what I didn't realize is you don't have to let this trigger the whole way out. You only have to let it go like a, well, I guess I gotta cycle the bolt for that to work, don't I? See if I can. Okay. You only have to go like a cunt hair out. And now the trigger's reset, and you can see trigger's reset right there. That's full way out. But the trigger was reset obviously at the second stage. So, and this second stage on this guy is super light. Now it's making a liar out of me, but it does feel pretty light. It's much lighter than the other Garands I have. So what I think I'm going to do, like I said, the total on this, both stages, is only 5.5 pounds. Total on all the other Garands, including this trigger pack here, is 7. So, and also, I feel like the second stage on this guy is only like 1.5 pounds. Whereas like the second stage on all the other ones are like 3 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the trigger groups out with this one here. This is the one that I had from RTI that had all the pitting on it that I didn't really care for. I'm going to swap the trigger groups, at least for now. I may do some research on this on how to improve the trigger pull, like not make it super heavy, but I always felt that the 2-stage trigger at, I guess they're 7 pounds. I never knew what they were until I measured them, but I always felt that the 2-stage trigger at, I guess, 7 pounds, because that's what they're all at, was always good. I never felt like that was too heavy because it was 2-stage, I guess. And I was planning on, or I am planning on ordering another Garand here, probably in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to get one of their special with a matched barrel and stuff in it. And I was planning on sending it out to do a trigger job, but now I don't know. I have to see what all is included in that, because I don't want the trigger pull lightened any. I like it at 7 pounds, or at least if it's lightened, make that second stage still 3 pounds, like make it 5 pounds, like the first stage 2, and then the other one 3, or something like that. Whatever's going on with this trigger here, it's just a little too light, and I don't know if maybe I can replace the spring, or if maybe somebody was screwing with this over in the Philippines. I have no idea, but it's a little too late for me. It works, it's fine. It's it just, for me personally, having that double fire, it's just a little too light for me. So I'm gonna swap trigger groups, and I may contact Fulton Armory about that and see what they say, what they think I should do. I could contact the CMP, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a little too light for me personally. So I don't want to take the chance of getting a double fire again. Okay, so that's the end of the problems. So, if you guys are looking for an M1 Garand, I highly suggest going to the CMP. It's really not a lot of paperwork. It's like 3 papers, and you got to get your credentials out to them and get like a paper notarized every 3 years or something. And just order one from them. Even if you're only going to order one, I'd rather you get one at $700, or this guy, this service grade here, or sorry, field grade was 800. Then pay like Real Tiger import prices, or just even at gun shows. You can buy these CMP guns at gun shows for like $1,400. And I'm sure I get the comments now. I get people that are angry that I bought from RTI, and they're like, "Why don't you join the CMP?" Blah. I get dude. I get comments still to this day, a year after I made that video, and I'm like, I am a member of the CMP. I do buy Garands from the CMP. But the difference in that story there is I knew what I was buying and I knew I was getting ripped off. However, I still wanted to test the waters. And I still to this day love that Winchester Garand that I got from them. There's no regrets on that one. So, but highly recommend the CMP, especially if you just want one. You're not really worried about manufacturer. The only problem with the CMP is you can't see the gun up front and you don't know what manufacturer you're going to get. It's kind of a gamble. But I mean, it is, they do have different, like Winchesters come up. It just seems like every time Winchesters come available from the CMP, I never have money. Right now there's Harrington, or I'm sorry, right now there's, International Harvesters available, but they're only available in the special grade, and they're like $1,400, which is a lot better than RTI's prices. They're like over 2,000 for the International Harvesters. But when you order just a field grade or a rack grade or a service grade, you get either, you can't really pick. You either get a Springfield or a Harrington and Richardson, and you get whatever they give you. Now you can leave a sticky note and say you would like a Springfield or a Harrington and Richardson, but I mean they don't have to honor that. You get what you get, and that's why a good bit of people don't like to order from the CMP. But dude, I'm telling you, it's much better to get a Garand from them. Even if you have to order 2 or 3 of them, pick a couple out. I'm sure you got friends that want Garands. I know I do. I constantly have buddies that are asking me about Garands and stuff. So, and I try to help everyone out as much as I can because I don't want to see people go out and needlessly spend $1,400-$1,500 on what should be a $500 to $700 rifle. The other good thing about ordering from the CMP is even though these came from the Philippines, no import marks. So, and then the other thing I did was I just put a reproduction sling on. You can get original GI slings, but they're like $80. So, on eBay. So, get yourself a Garand if you don't have one. If you have one, buy another one. And keep them coming. I'm not going to say how many I have because I have a few. But, yeah. Alright guys, have a good day.